just been announced that Han Kang has won the Nobel Prize in Literature, and as somebody who has read all of her books, here is whether or not I think you should read them. Just to go through all 4 of the books that she has published, the most famous I would definitely say is The Vegetarian. We also have The White Book, we have Human Acts, and then we have her most recent Greek Lessons. In short, yes, you should absolutely be reading all of her books. She is one of my favourite authors. I am obsessed with every single thing that she writes. Her narrative and her voice is one of the most unique that I have ever read. I love translated fiction, but there is something so special and so magical about all of her books. She endlessly writes so eloquently about the human experience and the human body and the human soul, and how all of them intertwine no matter where you are or where you are from, and I think it's so beautiful. In terms of my personal ratings with all of these books, my least favourite is definitely The Vegetarian. All that being said, it was definitely my first weird sort of unhinged woman book that I ever read. I do need to reread it to reform an opinion with the taste that I have in literature now, but this is definitely my least favourite out of all of them, but I still really love this. I would have her most recent publication, which was published last year, and that is Greek Lessons. This absolutely had my jaw on the floor. The way that she wrote about human communication and the importance of communication was astonishing. Character analysis in this moved me to my core. I absolutely fell in love with this. It was so complex but so easy to understand, and it was just rooted in heart and humanity. And in terms of my favourite Han Kang, it's absolutely a toss-up between The White Book and Human Acts. Part of me wants to say that The White Book is definitely my favourite, but this is less of a narrative and a straight out story as Human Acts. This is a short story collection. Human Acts floored me. When I first read it, I wanted to take my time with it. I wanted to sit with every single story. No babe, I binge read this. Writing was absolutely astonishing and so eloquent. This book holds so many of my favourite quotes. To give you one of them that literally changed my life and I think about it every single day. I need to try and read this without crying. I loved it so much. How long do souls linger by the side of their bodies? Do they really flutter away like some kind of bird? Is that what trembles the edges of the candle flame? Is that what trembles the edges of the candle flame? You should have won the Nobel Literature Prize just for that quote. Arguably my favourite book from Han Kang is The White Book. This book absolutely solidified for me her being one of my favourite authors ever. This entire book is a meditation on the colour white. It definitely includes some heavier topics like miscarriage and grief. It is one that when I read it completely floored me. I fell so in love with this. As you can see through all of the tabs, all of these are quotes that I adored. This is such a unique book that I truly think every single person should read. Everyone will get something new out of this. It is one of the most astonishing things that I have ever read in my entire life. Who loved Bluets by Maggie Nelson? This is very similar in that vein, but in terms of the colour white. I cannot recommend this enough, but equally I cannot recommend any book by Han Kang enough. She's one of my favourite authors. I am so full of joy that she won the Nobel Prize in Literature for 2024. Honestly, I've been anticipating her to win it for years now, and I'm so happy that this was her year. Like, this is your sign to read one of her books.